All right, as I just mentioned, a lot of folks waking up without power this morning. This is a live look at the outage map from PNM's website. There's some sporadic outages in Albuquerque. Those are just a few people here or there. The biggest clump of them together is up in Santa Fe. I think it's about 121 homes and businesses up there without power right now. Santa Fe says it knows, or excuse me, PNM says it knows about the outages and is working to get them fixed. Well, hikers made a grim discovery on Saturday night when they found a man's body near Alma, New Mexico, which is downstream of Mogollon. The Catron County Undersheriff tells us the man had injuries consistent with being washed away in floodwaters and very well could be this man, Howard Bassett, who is 83 years old and who went missing last week while trying to escape the flooding in Mogollon. Bassett's family has been contacted about the situation, although the man's body has not officially been identified by investigators.
Given that we've had one person reported missing and this one located, I would say chances are it's likely it's Mr. Bassett, but we wait on the medical investigator's office to confirm that.
Searchers found Bassett's truck buried in the mud near Mogollon back on Thursday, but he was nowhere to be found. We'll talk about a bizarre find after a casket washes up after flooding near Aztec. The Daily Times up there reports this rusty casket was found in an arroyo near the Aztec Speedway. A worker opened up the casket, found what he thought were bones, but tribal police say they really were nothing more than trash, towels, and junk inside of there. An anti-zoning advocate who lives near where the bodiless coffin was found says he's pretty sure it's one of his. He says one of his 3 caskets washed away during a recent monsoon storm. The advocate says he collects old cars, but purchased the casket at an auction back in the 1980s. Glad he got it back. Well, they were only trying to protect their homes from the flooding, but what some folks in the northwest part of Albuquerque did, digging ditches to stop the gushing water and mud, now has the federal government threatening to prosecute them. The folks living up against the Petroglyph National Monument in Albuquerque were suddenly left with, they say, was no other choice but to protect their homes and water from water pouring down from the monument's property. Petroglyph officials say homeowners can use sandbags on federal land if necessary, but they are not supposed to dig ditches. Well, now Albuquerque City Councilor Ken Sanchez says local and federal officials have to find a way to help these people.
We need to protect the National Monument. It's a treasure for Albuquerque. And at the same time, these residents need to protect their property and protect their life. This could have been a lot worse than what it was.
The hope is to get federal funding to improve the drainage flow on the Petroglyph National Monument. Councilor Sanchez is anxious, actually a better word is eager, to go ahead and get things done. Recent flooding has put New Mexico in one of the biggest disaster relief efforts ever in this state's history, and some charities that worry that those who are trying to help are getting taken advantage of. The Red Cross says it's already had people call its office reporting fake charity solicitors calling people's homes saying they're taking donations for flood relief. The agency says it never contacts people and solicits donations, so now it's worried about the continued pressure of the flood relief effort. Crews have already been working at 25 different sites across the state for at least the last 12 days, and they're expected to keep on working.
Flooding is very easy to forget when the sun comes out, but those that have been affected by flooding will be needing Red Cross assistance for weeks to come.
And if you suspect a fake charity is calling you, please contact the state's Attorney General's office. Well, security at CNM is reviewing a video of a scuffle between a guard and a student. The college says an officer was helping a woman who had fallen when the student skated by and almost ran into her. The officer told him to get off, but CNM says the student ignored his warnings. A witness says what happened next was downright unnecessary.
He grabbed the student's skateboard and slammed it to the ground and was like, "Now I'm going to have to arrest you." From then on, he proceeded to push the kid and then grabbed him ultimately and slammed him to the ground.
CNM says it has to be strict with its skateboard policy in high traffic areas. The school says if someone is putting others in danger and ignores security, officers have the right to restrain that person. We are told the student was detained, then released. One county here in New Mexico wants to turn cow manure into energy. Chavez County Commissioners approved a $20 million bond allowing a biogas company to start processing waste from dairy farms into a form of natural gas. The manure and biofuel would be funneled into a pipeline to California. The county says it'll bring in all 50 jobs and get rid of any excess cow waste. All right, you've heard about bears struggling for food this summer, but they are not the only ones. Birds of prey are having trouble too. That includes a bald eagle here, just 6 to 8 months old, found on the side of I-40 in some bad shape. The reason? Well, it couldn't find enough food thanks to the drought. But now the Eagles at the Wildlife Center up in Espanola, it is doing better, and when it gets released, it'll teach us all a good lesson.
We have so few bald eagles. We would like to see how they disperse. We would like to see what sort of food sources this animal is able to procure out there. The more information we have, the better we can mitigate against the outcomes, the negative outcomes for these animals.
I'm glad the bird got some help. The Wildlife Center hasn't said when it'll release that bald eagle. And check this out, a daring rescue caught on camera. We know the cell phone video is a little blurry here, but I had to show it to you still. In the middle of the screen, there's a dog that's fallen through an icy pond in Socorro. The pooch's pal stays by his side as a group of people try to rescue it. One rescuer risks walking onto the ice, even falls into the icy water, then pulls the dog all the way back to the grass. If dogs had 9 lives like cats, this one would be down to 8. Obviously, this back from the winter when it was cold. Glad the dog is okay. Brave people there to do that.